This one is crazy. So I don't know if you guys know, but Kamala Harris decided to give her economic policies. And a lot of people, even Democrats, are freaking out about it because it sounds like things that they tried in Venezuela or Argentina or other nations. And what's happening right now during this segment, it's about to be crazy because Greg Gutfeld is about to go off. Now, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, let's actually play real quick as we let people come in here. Let's actually play what Kamala Harris said in front of the world about her new economic policies. Then we'll go to the showdown on Fox 5.
Everyday prices are too high. It feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. The bills add up. Food, rent, gas, back to school clothes, prescription medication, the cost of food. A loaf of bread costs 50% more. Ground beef is up almost 50%. There's a serious housing shortage. The price of housing has gone up. It's too difficult to build, and it's driving prices up. It is out of reach. The size of down payments have gone up as well. Costs are still too high. There's not much left at the end of the month, and prices are still too high.
So she's been vice president for the last 4 years, but that's what it sounded like. Vice president for the last 4 years. So she's complaining about her own administration. Well, here's Jessica Tarlov about to make a fatal mistake live when she says this. Take a listen.
Floor. And you take the contrast of yesterday. So you had President Trump, someone who grew up a millionaire, became a billionaire, standing in front of his golf club, ranting and raving about everything, lying about everything from, GDP rates to poverty rates to energy production, et cetera. And then you have...
So she says Donald Trump grew up as a millionaire, then became a billionaire. Interesting. Now let's see what Greg Gutfeld has to say about that. He's about to lose it.
Capitalism. We're not dealing with a monopoly.
Well, first, I want to point out something Jessica said, that Trump began as a millionaire and now he's a billionaire.
Smash the like button. This is about to get good.
Capitalism. We're not dealing with a monopoly.
Well, first, I want to point out something Jessica said, that Trump began as a millionaire and now he's a billionaire. I think that makes him an expert in this. I would rather listen to somebody who began as a millionaire and is now a billionaire than somebody who doesn't have a damn clue about economics. I've never heard a candidate today more unsure of themselves on a topic than Kamala Harris. I think she's been burdened by the weight of expectations put on her by the media. I've never seen a better campaign ad for Trump. She's campaigning better for Trump than Trump is. First, let's talk about the down payment issue on the House. A lot of this stuff is infuriating, because they're treating the American public like idiots. She makes a proposal that is only half an equation. The first half is, here's a nice thing for you. The second half is missing. Who pays for it? You saw this with student loan theft, described as forgiveness. Who paid for it? You paid for it. You see with immigration policy, who's footing the billions and all that free stuff? You're paying for it. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. And the sooner or later you figure that out, the better off you're going to be. And that's directed at Democrats who don't understand that these policies are going to sink this country. If you cap prices, you increase scarcity by diminishing competition. People can call her a communist, but you gotta explain this, because the media won't ask the follow-up questions. How do you plan on doing this? Please give me an example. Give me an example where industries got together in a room and decided to drastically increase prices. That doesn't exist. The only example...
He's going off. Hold on. Greg Gutfeld is going. He's in the zone right now.
Follow-up questions. How do you plan on doing this? Please give me an example. Give me an example where industries got together in a room and decided to drastically increase prices. That doesn't exist. The only example they'll have is, a bodega raised prices on umbrellas when it rained. That's all they got. There is no payoff for industries to artificially inflate their prices, because the people who drive the prices are the consumers. That is, if you want to understand supply and demand, it's the consumers who drive the prices. There is absolutely no debate on this. There is not a single economist who would agree that this is the right thing to do. We can go and talk about Eastern Bloc countries. You can look at the cheap, terrible cars that they made and the appliances they made, but you already know that story. So how do you keep a debate alive if we know this is a fraudulent idea? You don't talk to economists. You listen to politicians or talking heads like me who have to do the research, because I'm sick and tired of hearing people pretend like they know what they're talking about on TV, but they don't. So you won't see economists on other shows, other networks asking these questions. Like, can you give me an example of how this is done? What are the major industries? What is the right price?
Hey, he's not playing around.
What is too high? What is too low? Can the government set prices based on not having a knowledge of an industry? What do you mean exactly by price gouging? How is that done beyond unique exceptions? Price gouging is a weak phrase directed at weaker minds.
Can I just add?
Bravo. Go ahead. Kamala has no time.
She's trying to hit her forehead. Oh, Jessica's trying to get a word in. Hold on. Will she be able to get this word in? I'm very interested in this.
Price gouging is a weak phrase directed at weaker minds.
Can I just add?
Bravo. Go ahead. Kamala has no time to answer pesky questions about her radical record because she's too busy grilling Tim Walz about his white guy tacos.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News.
Yo, that was insane. Now, what caused him to go off like this? Well, it was this.
Pretty ladder. Someone who worked at McDonald's through college. You couldn't have the starker juxtaposition between these two candidates. And then on top of it, she's saying to people, I feel your pain. I know how much things cost. You know what I want to do? I want to build 3 million new housing units. You know what I want to do? I want to cap prescription drug prices for everyone, not just Medicare recipients. I mean, yesterday, we didn't get to talk about it because of the Trump press conference, but because Medicare is negotiating drug prices, seniors will get to keep $6 billion of their dollars. That's $1.5 billion in out-of-pocket costs that will be saved because of the policies from the Biden-Harris administration. And that's what today is about regular people getting to keep more of their money.
Greg, antitrust enforcement that Jessica talks about is really not the issue. If we're talking about many different supermarkets, many different meat markets, competition is the essence of, capitalism. We're not dealing with a monopoly.
Well, first, I want to point out something Jessica said, that Trump began as a millionaire and now he's a billionaire. I think that makes him an expert in this. I would rather listen to somebody who began as a millionaire and is now a billionaire.
Yo, do people you think people just, do you know how hard it is to become a billionaire? You think people just I got $1 million, but now I'm going to go make $1 billion? How do you she said that as if it was supposed to be something very bad. Oh, Trump was a millionaire. Now he's a billionaire. Doesn't that make him smart? You know what Jessica reminds me of? I saw this clip and I was like, man, what is going on with white liberal women? Take a listen to this.
I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm stealing from Peter to pay Paul. And I know it's cyclical. I know, you can't blame the sitting president for everything that's wrong. You can't blame past presidents for everything that's wrong, but come on, guys, you got to do something.
Again, that was earlier this summer. I checked in with Michelle again after President Biden dropped out of the race.
How do you feel about the race now?
This is going to sound crazy, but I feel better because I don't know. I said on my last interview, don't really hear from Kamala, but I think I'm with Kamala. I've watched her. I think she has to get her feet wet. She was only the vice president, but I think a woman running this country, oh God, I hope. I'm living paycheck to paycheck.
Did you guys see that? Wait, there's more. There's more Jessica Tarlovs out there. What is happening? Bro, these are voters. Oh my, look, take a look at this one. This is yeah.
So who else has lost their family to Trump?
Who's lost their family to Trump?
So who else has lost their family to Trump? I had this horrible conversation with my dad.
my sister-in-law, they're still, after all this shit, they're still Trump supporters. And it's like, how can I respect you? How can I respect you if you are still a Trump supporter when you have a daughter and a great-granddaughter? Fuck off. Right? I share with my dad that his dad did bad things to me. And that I was really grossed out about the fact that like his eldest sister like got married at 16 because, you know, and that my granddad was 32 and my grandma was 14 or something. I was like,
What? 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 What is the difference between that and Jessica Tarlov? I think there's a realm for it. Like there's a space for this.
Can I just add?
Bravo. Go ahead. Kamala has no.
Can I just add?
Bravo. Go ahead. Kamala has no time to answer pesky questions.
What is the difference between Jessica Tarlov and the rest of these women? Like, oh, I saw a video of people complaining about Trump supporters that they're the worst or that they're bad for America. From what I'm seeing right here in these videos, this is a whole voting class. This is crazy. Like, oh, Trump supporters are very bad. Like they're ruining America. Have you seen these women? Like, bro, she was on here complaining about how bad it. Like, listen to this.
I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm stealing from Peer to PayPal. And I know it's cyclical. I know, you can't blame the sitting president for everything that's wrong. You can't blame past presidents for everything that's wrong. But come on, guys, we got to do something.
Again, that was earlier this summer. I checked in with Michelle again after President Biden dropped out of the race.
How do you feel about the race now?
This is going to sound crazy, but I feel better because I don't know. I said on my last interview, like, you don't really hear from Kamala, but I think I'm with Kamala. I've watched her. I think she has to get her feet wet. She was only the vice president, but I think a woman running this country. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's sure. Yes. That is, if that's not crazy and dangerous, then I don't know what is. I really don't. But I just wanted to show you that because it was a Jessica Tarlov video, but I just wanted to go and grasp up that group. This is a huge voting block, right? The white women, the white boys for Harris. Like, this is, yeah, crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think overall about Kamala Harris's. Let me know what you think about her policies, her new policies. Because, look, I even saw this video. I'll just play this video from CNN here. Even CNN is not feeling these new policies, but take a listen to this.
A minute around the corner. For some people, it's already started. They already know what that cost is.
Matt, we had to interrupt you before you were.
I know, and I wanted to hear your answer.
Oh, it was so intelligent. I already
well, yeah, it was a great response that unfortunately we had to cut away from. But now that you've heard the speech, what stands out to you as the most clear and effective line of attack that we're likely going to hear from Republicans as a response?
Two things. I think number one, she took a lot of far left positions during her first run in 2019 and 2020. She has, temporarily kind of moderated these through some anonymous quotes from aides saying, well, she doesn't really want to ban fracking anymore. She doesn't want to do this, doesn't want to do that. This new program that she's kind of doing is pretty far left, $25,000, price controls, essentially. That's number one. But the other thing is, kind of conveniently forgot she was vice president for the last 4 years when a lot of the housing market crisis was at its worst.
Oh!
Conveniently forgot she was vice president for the last 4 years when a lot of the housing market crisis was at its worst, when inflation was at its worst. So there's a lot of memory holding that. But look, when it comes to the 25K, I mean, you just added $25,000 into every price on every home price in the country, because if you're giving that away essentially for free, people will add it into the price. And obviously, price controls have come under criticism from the Washington Post, Catherine Rampell, whom this channel's talked to earlier. So you're going to see a lot of that in the messaging over the next couple of days, if not weeks, as we go into the convention.
And Julia Chatterley is with us.
Yeah, I think people, you know what's crazy about this, right? I was going through this post from Kamala Harris. You can see like Kamala Harris, her Instagram, it has like 18 million followers, a lot of followers, right? She posted this. She said a second Donald Trump presidency will cost a typical family up to $3,900 a year. If you go to her comments, in her own comments, it says this: Trump Vance 2024. Former Democrat now voting for Trump. Donald Trump was already president and everybody had money. Why are prices under you and Biden higher now than when it was when President Trump was president? Kamala, you are incorrect. Trump would save us so much money. Your energy policy has crushed our food industry. Higher gas prices equal higher food costs. My 10-year-old understands this basic concept. Get a clue, people. Democrats want the population dependent on them to keep control. I'm in favor of less government spending and smart policies to create a strong economy and safety for our friends and family. Trump Vance is the only choice for our children's future. Didn't you send billions of taxpayer dollars to Ukraine? You and Biden created the worst inflation situation ever. You're in office now. Why not change things now? Your administration now costs families over $23,000. I will reduce your cost of living. I'm reading all the comments, by the way. These are all comments. Trump 2020, but these are all her comments. Somebody posted a fake news. That was one of the replies right here. I like this reply. I gotta like this reply. This is a good fake news. Can't wait until you lose. Look, somebody posted, can't wait until you lose. More than that, it will cost us democracy. You still have some wokesters there. You still have wokesters. But most of the top comments are people coming at her and roasting her. So that's pretty insane. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to smash the like button. I hope you guys enjoyed this version of the news. I will see you guys on the next one. Smash the like button, please.